Hello and welcome to another macro video. We're looking today at analysis macros, but I want to start a bit more generally than that, just looking at different macro types which are available to you. The most obvious one, and certainly one that we begin with when we're teaching, is the information macros such as Google Fetch, where we're just clicking in a word or a phrase and sending it off to a website. Nice safe macro that anybody can use. Then analysis macros are the next, if you like, in the learning curve, because they are again not actually changing anything. They are giving you information, and the example there is prop and analyze, which is the one that I would like to look at a little bit more than the others. And the point about those is they're safe because you're not making any changes. If you are making changes, then two other types of macros that we've got the topical. In other words, you're busy reading, you're busy editing sentence by sentence, and you need to make changes at the point where you are. And those again are relatively safe because you can see the changes that have been made. A little more scary, the global find and replace. It's more of an intermediate type of macro, and you need to be sure what you're doing as you use these powerful tools. They are powerful, but they need to be used with care. Okay, so today we're just looking at analysis macros. I want to look at the principle involved and then take a quick look at the most popular one, which I said is prop and analyze, because it's had some changes made to it, hopefully to make it more helpful to you. But then finally I'll give you a sort of reference list of all 35 as it stands at the moment, analysis macros, and I imagine that most people will click stop at the end of point 2. A bit boring going through all the different ones, but they're there for reference if you want them. Okay, so what's the principle? Analysis macros are important, and the reason is that by using them you fulfill the expression forewarned is forearmed. In other words, you're looking at the document and you are trying to find what's going on in the document as a whole, so that you can make decisions as to what you're going to do based on the document as a whole. How many times have you and I gone into an edit and worked on chapters 1 and 2 perhaps, and made various decisions on the basis of what's there, only to find that all the rest of the chapters seem to be doing things differently, and you've wasted time. Do you go back and change them or what? So make the decisions on the whole document, and then what we're trying to do by doing that is to look out for inconsistencies in the document as a whole, or I should say potential inconsistencies, because some things may or may not be inconsistent. So macros can help you to see what seems to be inconsistent, and then your job is to work out whether they really are inconsistent, and on the basis of that you make your mind up as to whether you're going to make changes. Okay, so we look at prop and analyze. It's in a kind of new guise at the moment because I've tried to simplify the display and make it easier for people to understand what's going on. The basic principle of the prop and analyze is that it creates a frequency list of all the proper nouns. In other words, all the different words that begin with an initial capital letter and how many times they occur. And then it runs a range of different comparisons. Could this word and that word actually misspellings of one another? And it then offer those to you, and then you can have a look and work out whether they really are inconsistencies or not. So I'm saying it finds pairs. Does this word and that word look similar in various ways? And because there are different ways they might be similar, then you end up with different possibilities. So because of that, different tests, some words might be paired with more than one other word, which makes it a little difficult when it comes to me trying to display what's available there, what the inconsistencies might be. So which word goes with which other word. So what I've done is to produce a simplified list, and I think we can get away with that for most of the time because most of the differences between the words are pretty obvious to you when you look at them. But if they're not, then the macro also produces another list, the one it starts from, if you like, the list of all the words, and in that list there are more different things visible. So if we have a look at those, if we look at the output list, the final list, then if you're used to previous versions of PropAndAnalyze, you will see that this is a lot simpler, a lot clearer, and there's less clutter, so you can see what's going on. And when you're looking down and trying to find which words are possible misspellings of which others, then you are given slight clues. Let's take those for example. The Beckett's in the middle, they're obvious, but Baker and Booker are separated from one another, and those colours there give you a clue that those go together. And there are various other ones there which may be near to one another or maybe further apart. So what? You've got Mary and Myra. They've got the same consonants but different vowels, and they are separated from one another alphabetically. So if we have a look at the original total list of all of them, then if you look for example at these M's here, what you've got is let's see, we've got Mary, look, and Mark. They're different by one single character, and that is one of the tests. And when it finds that, it marks them in, I think it's bold, because what have we got? We've got many and Mary going together with just a single different character, and you've got Morris, which is MRC, goes with Mark. Now, so you've got italic to show that Mark goes with Morris. You've got bold to show that Mark goes with Mary. So and you've also got another one here. You've got the double strike through, which is also another clue as to what goes with what. So, as I say, mainly you can get away with using the main list, but occasionally you might want to, especially when you've got larger numbers of words, which means the word pairs might be separated by a greater distance in the list. If there's relatively few words, they're close to each other, the more words there are, the more likely they are separated somewhere. Okay, so that's basically that. I think that's all I've got to say about PropAndAnalyze. I hope you enjoy the new version. So I'll sort of say, cheerio for now, assuming that you may have seen enough. However, I will carry on and see how we get on with all these other macros, the 35 of them, and probably the most important one to sort of say if you're really getting keen on these is that Megalize is a macro that you can use for some of the macros, the main ones, and so we've got it's only for the main analysis macros. The idea being that you can say, oh, I want to run Dockerlyze, Spellalize, PropAndAnalyze, Hyphenalize. So it will run through them while you go off and make a cup of coffee or walk the dog, and then when you come back, all the reports are up on screen waiting for you. Well, we've done PropAndAnalyze. Full Namealyze takes a name and a surname and compares those. Dockerlyze, a well-known one, checks all sorts of different things. Hyphenalize, again, very commonly used by lots of people. Word pairalize is where the word pairs are never there as hyphenating, and therefore if they're never hyphenated, Hyphenalize won't pick them up, but it will give you things like can, not, and cannot. Spellalize, again, very well established. Accentalize, so it's looking out for different words that have the same letters, some of which have accents and some of them don't. And that's one that's been updated recently and made more effective, taking into account more different types of accents that occur in various languages. Citationalize checks citations against references, and recently I've discovered that it is possible to use that for some what do you call them, CMS, Chicago type references, and that's something I'm prepared to work on if people are interested. And short titlealize is again trying to analyze some of these more complex citation and reference systems. Acronymalize, lots of producing a list of acronyms, is the UK-US alize, different spellings. Initial cap alize, so that's where you've got say words where the author likes to capitalize the client and the builder and somebody else, and sometimes they're capitalized and not others. Serial comma-alize, well, it tries to show you which strings of words look like, we can't say are, so look like serial commas or not serial commas, and then you can get some idea of which is predominating. And analyze, okay, so it's checking whether the right use of a or an is there. We've had capitalized ones, haven't we? Initial capitalize and capitalize. I can't remember what the difference is between those, but anyway, it is what it is. How are centuries displayed in the document? There is a bit of another Chicago note. I'd forgotten these existed. Anyway, citationalize alpha. Oh, somebody said that the output they didn't like the output from citationalize. They wanted it all alphabetic. But so I produced that. Different ways that date formats are shown. List out the words of a proper noun frequency. Not a clue what that's for. It's probably an aberration. What different types of fields are available in the document, sort of links and footnotes and whatever, tells you what's there. Different formats, what's available in the, what's being used, what types of formatting has been used. Genus and species, that's a little specialized. Italicalize, some words are italicized sometimes and not others, so it tells you about those. What different types of lists are available. Phrasalize gives you duplicated phrases. Pluralize, frequency list of single plural pairs. Oh, where a word occurs in the singular, a king, and also as kings. Can't remember quite why you want it. Colours the words that go with that. Preferred spelling alize. So if you have a preferred spelling list, then you run this macro, it'll show you what other words are similar to those preferred spellings, and you can check them. Analyzes the size of sentences, the length of sentences, looks for similar words through the whole document. Special word alize. Yes, it analyzes very long words, and I can't really remember what that was for. Spellalize to Fredit. Oh, that's when you've done a spellalize and you want to put the words that need changing into the Fredit, then that will help you along the way and speed things up for you. And then units alize counts the the words that look like units, like 6 mm, for 6 millimeters or whatever. Well, there you go. That's it. I hope that's useful. Bye for now.